Thanks for staying with Morning Live. Let's focus in on sport now. President Cyril Ramaphosa's Thursday announcement made it clear that sports events will not resume until it is safe to do so. But outdoor exercise will be permitted. Runners and cyclists celebrated. To speak about the best way to get from the yard back to the tower is Comrades coach Lindsey Parry. A very good morning and welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Valen. Good to be chatting.
So, Lindsey, some runners have been running in their backyards, but unless you're Ryan Sands, who completed a 100-miler at home, most had a sudden reduction in the mileage that they were actually able to complete. What is the best way to ease back into training on the road?
Look, most of us have been on lockdown since for at least 5 weeks, and some perhaps even before that. So it's important that we actually treat this as if we've had a rest or taken a break and ease back into running slowly. I know it's going to be tempting to get back out there and run as much as you can, maybe relieve some stress, but we actually want to just build this up slowly and take 3 to 4 weeks to actually get back to fairly normal training.
And in what increments? So you say we need to look at only getting back to what we were doing prior to lockdown in about a month's time, but then how do you actually work that into your schedule? Because I suppose by the time you just get onto the road, you're going to be feeling great and fresh.
Look, it's not an exact science, but what I like to work on is a formula of 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. We don't have to treat this as if we've had an injury, and we don't have to treat this as if we've now gone and run something like the Comrades and have had to take a long break and actually heal our body. So let's say somebody was running between 50 and 60 Ks a week before lockdown, then you're going to aim to run between 15 and 20 Ks, the following week between 30 and 40 Ks, the following week about 40 to 45 Ks, and then up to your 50 to 60 Ks plus or minus by the end of that lockdown week. But we also want to just be careful that we don't go mad for training, because there's also going to be quite a long time before we get races on the calendar. So we want to go into a pattern where we're training, where we are maintaining fitness, where we're enjoying our running, where we don't want to go into full-blown marathon or Comrades training, knowing that there's still a good few months before we actually need to start training really hard, and you don't want to be mentally burnt out when you get to that point in time.
Actually, speaking about the burnout, is there like a golden rule? Like as long as you've been maintaining fitness, you'll only need 3 months of increasing distance to be ready for Comrades. And let's just focus on an ultra distance like Comrades.
Yeah, you're talking 8 to 12 weeks. So
okay.
Typically your best athletes will spend 10 to 12 weeks at absolute peak training. And if you have been ticking over, as they always do, I mean, elite athletes very seldom do no training. So if you've been ticking over and doing moderate training, you and I will take, in 8 weeks, we'll be ready to run Comrades. 10 weeks is really nice, and then if you've got another 2-3 weeks with a taper, so we call it 8 to 12 weeks is your band.
Yeah, and that is with the proviso that you have been maintaining your fitness, of course.
Yes, and you've been doing something, so you don't have to be super fit, but yeah, if you're taking over, running 3 to 4 days a week, doing a little bit of strength training, you are going to be absolutely fine.
How do you look after your immune system as you get back into training, and also considering that prior to lockdown it was a lot warmer than what we're going to be experiencing when we come out of lockdown across the country?
So the interesting thing is that moderate to low intensity exercise and volume is extremely good for your immune system, and it really boosts your immune system. So it's actually a key time for even those people who are not returning to exercise. I mean, people who exercise can't wait to get out there, but everybody should be doing some cardiovascular, low intensity cardiovascular exercise, which can take the form of walking or walk running. But if you do between 20 and 40 minutes of exercise every 2 to 3 days, that's actually going to give your body a really great immune system boost. And there is some evidence to suggest, coming out of the University of Virginia in USA, that there's a particular enzyme released during exercise that is particularly good in the fight against corona. So I would strongly encourage people to get out and do some exercise. Obviously, if you're starting from scratch, you don't want to jump out and go and do an hour of exercise. Then we're talking about doing 15 to 20 minutes and building that up over a period of a month to about 20 to 40 minutes of exercise. And then to speak to us going into winter, that's a very valid concern. So after exercise, when you are wet and sweaty, you don't want your body temperature to drop too quickly. So you want to get in, get showered, get clean, get warm, get dry, and then get warm in that order. And that will minimize the impact on any negative impact on your immune system.
Lovely stuff. Thank you so much for the valuable advice to those people that are hoping to get back to being marathon ready, as well as those people that just want to look after their immune system. That's Comrades coach Lindsey Parry chatting to us via Skype from his home and sharing with us how we get from our backyard training back onto the road.